Lucky, I've been going over your charts, and you need to make some serious lifestyle changes.
The kids are always after me, Lucky Charms.
You know what? Next time, why don't you let them keep them? I mean, look at this. You've been living off of yellow suns and pink hearts and green clovers
And blue horseshoes.
You know what? Speaking of shoes, you're not going to have much need for them pretty soon because you're about to lose both of your feet to diabetes. I mean, look at this.
Oh, more marshmallows.
Lucky, this is your urine sample.
What if I switch from box cereal to box score?
I thought you want to live healthy. You're going from box cereal to box score. I mean, you're living so dangerously, you're about to be headed straight for a box.
Oh, starts right now. Happy St. Patty's Day.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Let's dive right into it. The topic of concussions in sports took over today in the wake of 49ers rookie Chris Borland retiring under fears of long-term head trauma. McLovin, are they scrambling over there at the NFL offices?
Oh, I don't think so. Obviously I knew this was coming. It's been a big deal. They have apparently a new head of health and safety issues who made a lot of comments. That was a debate the whole day today. How much of an impact is this really going to have? In the short term, I think we all agreed not much. Maybe in the long term, that's a different issue.
I was laughing when you said that. Head of health and safety issues for the NFL is like head of health for the McDonald's. It's inherently unhealthy, no matter how hard you try, but I guess they're going to try to make it a little
Well, that's who needs heads of health and safety, not companies that are inherently safe.
Yes.
If you work at a pillow factory, you don't need a guy.
You're pretty safe.
But what would they even do? Like they should say they all huddled together today and they're all in a big panic, or worst case.
He's doing a big eye thing.
What are they gonna do today, tomorrow, next week to make it all of a sudden significantly safer? If they're worried that all of a sudden future generations are gonna stop playing
I don't
football?
really see why it's a big deal if they do try to make the game a little safer. It could still be a dangerous game where people are going to get hurt, but that doesn't mean that it's like, well, yeah, screw it. Why don't we just get rid of all safety stuff and just let them go kill each other? I mean, there's some middle ground there between, like, NASCAR is still a dangerous sport and people are going to crash, but they try to make it a little safer so people don't die. I mean, clearly there's room for both, right? It isn't like one or the other.
That's the debate, though. Like, I think we were arguing at another level. Is it an inherently dangerous sport no matter what you try to do? Yeah. Is it just, it's just the nature of it?
You can't encase all that in puffy Nerf
Are you
material.
throwing a bucket of water on a 5-alarm fire, I think is the issue. But man, I don't know. I'm not
Do you
trying
really
to
think
agree.
it's that much of a dangerous sport that it's a 5-alarm fire? Or is it like, all right, well, there's some head stuff going on right now they got to figure out and try and get rid of that. But it's not like they're like, wait a minute, we've got a serious, ACL problem here that we've got to try and fix that too. I mean, that's something that you can't do anything about.
If you look at it, it's funny you said ACL. Tommy John surgery is more impactful than head injuries are to the NFL. I miss seeing more pitchers year to year. Like Yu Darvish, he's gone for the season. Most guys aren't gone for the season with concussions. They plan to play.
Yeah,
through
Mets
them in the
just
NFL.
lost Wheeler, Zach Wheeler.
If you look at
Tommy John's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I think that's why concussions are so dangerous because you can play right through them. You never know. Like you're quietly, seriously injuring yourself and going right through it. That's why, because like an Achilles tear. We were talking about an Achilles tear yesterday. That's like, oh, you go down, it's like you're shot.
Yeah.
But you can heal it like concussion. You just got a concussion, you go right back out there and you play through it. That's why they seem more dangerous because they're not catastrophic.
A lot of gray area when it comes to the gray matter. Well, the boss wasn't short of opinion when it came to today's main topic.
It's not a game changer. It's a game changer when it's a quarterback. It's going to be a game changer when you look at middle and maybe upper class. Those families and their kids. We don't want you to play football, play something else. Then, it's going to be a trickle-down type of situation here where we'll look at the numbers in 20 years from now. Then you might see where there's an impact on professional football. But there's going to be another linebacker who steps in for Chris Borland, and we move on.
Dan's right. It won't have any effect over the next few weeks unless a bunch of draftees decide to retire before they get to the NFL. But most guys don't pass on money, even for health issues. But it will be like I said to McLovin, you know what the direct effect would be if some mother and father of an 8-year-old, 9-year-old is about to let their son play football for the first time this spring, I'd say a good chunk of them will probably look at the story, see the story on Today's Show or NBC or whatever, and say, no. And they won't let their son, and their son will cry for a few days, and then they'll move on to tennis or soccer or baseball or basketball. But I think that the numbers will be down every year for grade school football.
Hey, Seton, you mentioned in the box that your son Kieran is going to his first hockey practice today. A lot of incidental slams in hockey. How concerned are you about long-term effects?
Well, I mean, really, it's like hockey practice, so he's learning how to skate, and then after that, they go through like a skills thing, so it's like sort of one step at a time. But I'm not really actually all that concerned about it. I mean, Kieran is a kid who at 3 years old was dropping in on a bike on a 5-foot quarter pipe. So I think that as a father, I'm going to try to encourage his interests, and right now he's really interested in hockey. And should that turn out to be a real thing for him, I'm going to support him in that. And if he's sort of like Legos and he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm not really that into that this week, then all right, maybe, you know, it goes by the wayside. But I'm not, I would let my son play football. I'm going to let him play hockey if he wants. I'm going to let him, you know, BMX and action sports and all of those things because that's what he's passionate about. So I feel like I have to support that.
Hey, Fritzy, last time the topic came up, you were in a bit of a showdown with your son for playing football. These are the very concerns that Borland brought up. How was that resolved with your kid?
Yeah, thankfully I got off easy this time around. I'm sure there'll be many other issues, sports and non-sports related, that I'm going to have to, as we all will, as parents, deal with head on. There was a short time where he was thinking about trying out for the football team. Some of his friends were doing it, and he wanted to do it. I didn't know how much was actual passion for playing football and how much, you know, just what the cool kids are doing.
Did he tell you why he didn't choose
He just kind of lost interest. He didn't really, you know, there was no real explanation whether he liked basketball more, he enjoyed Little League baseball more, and I think it was just a passing fad, or that maybe he went to a practice and realized what was involved or how big the commitment was, and he didn't feel that strongly enough about it to make that kind of commitment, because football's got a much bigger commitment than some of the other sports, at least where our town is. So he just kind of dropped it and we moved on. It's not something where I had to ban him from playing or pull him off the team or be one of those fathers that's on top of him constantly or yelling at a kid for hitting my son too hard during a game or something. So right as of now, I guess it could change, but he kind of dropped the football stuff without me having to nudge him one way or the other.
Hey, McLovin, what changes in the NFL first, the style of play or the level of talent?
That's interesting. The other thing, the level of talent. Everyone's like, well, if Chris Borland retires, like the talent level is getting a little lower in the NFL. The only place you see talent level is quarterback and wide receiver. If there's slightly less talented linebackers, you will not notice it. So I don't even know what that means. Like if all of a sudden your quarterback can't throw a spiral 30 yards downfield, how would you ever notice that there's slightly less talented linebackers in the NFL? I don't think the talent dip is a huge concern for the NFL. Only a quarterback. Honestly, like, can you tell?
But what separates good athletes from bad athletes then? Talent. Wouldn't that be considered talent level?
Right, but the dip is going to be so gradual. Be so many people will film that spot. Chris Borland's only this much better than the 500 guys right below him.
But what if little Lawrence Taylor decides not to play football this year, and little J.J. Watt decides not to play football, and little Deion Sanders, and those?
I don't think those guys move the needle at all. I think it's the quarterbacks. Honestly, that's how I feel. We were talking about this today. You like the hits to a certain degree.
Yeah, well, a lot.
I think the passing is what sells the game. But what if little Calvin Johnson gets hurt?
If they kept the passing and played two-hand touch, you'd have just as many numbers, and nobody would tune in.
I think 7-on-7 will grow faster because of this. I think
they'll tune out. They'll find. Someone will come up with an alternative league, like the XFL. They're not the dumbest people in the world. I don't care about the health of the players. That's their job to care. I care about watching a product. And if NASCAR decides to go 55 miles an hour, I'm out. If football decides to go two-hand touch, I'm out. And I'll find another product that's different than what I could do in my backyard.
But the Chris Borlands of the NFL, they're the pawns. The king and the queens are the Russell Wilsons and the Colin Kaepernicks.
That's true.
You know, that's why I feel, that's sort of how I feel. And it's terrible, but I think they're pawns. You're going to churn through 1,000 inside linebackers.
Then why do they? Then they should not let them hit the. Then if you want to protect the quarterbacks, no touching the quarterbacks. Put the red jersey on them. then you've just taken J.J. Watt's career away. You've taken Justin, what's his name, from Kansas City.
Justin Houston, yeah.
Justin
Houston left the NFL tomorrow, not a single fan outside of Kansas City blinks or even mentions it.
Right, but if you couldn't hit the quarterback, let's say they made a rule. Let's say something. They're about to get rid of the kickoff. They're about 2 years away from getting rid of the kickoff, which I love the kickoff. That's their job to be safe. That's not mine.
Think ratings will suffer?
If they don't let you hit the quarterback,
I would have a major.
If the kickoff goes away, do you think it'll impact ratings at all?
Well, let me tell you something. I don't watch the commercial breaks during the kickoffs anymore. You know what I do when the kickoffs? I check my Twitter. I turn the TV on to Usual Suspects for 3 minutes because I know once that touchdown is scored, I turn my TV off. I got the extra point, irrelevant. Kickoff, irrelevant. Another commercial after kickoff. So I've got a good 4 minutes. And I watch games, and as soon as that touchdown is scored, I got 4 minutes to do something else. So I'm not watching those commercials.
You've already seen Usual Suspects at least 100 times.
I love it. It's great.
You even understand what Finster's saying.
I love Finster.
It was you, Verbal. Only he could set up that lineup. Oh, you know what? The lingerie league's out there if you need great football. I feel we'll be talking about this subject for quite a while. Coming up, the Jacket Man cometh, and he cometh in a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Every truck can tow a boat, every truck can climb a hill, every truck can haul a trailer, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. Welcome back to the Box Score. Craig Sager recently returned to the sideline reporting after battling leukemia. McLovin, is he more known for Jackets or his reporting?
Oh, 100% Jackets. And I don't even mean that as an insult, as reporting, which is good. But those jackets, I mean, there are a lot of good reporters. There's nobody who wears jackets like that. That's immediately what comes to mind.
Yeah, he happens to be a very good reporter. That's a good question. But sometimes it gets overshadowed by, you know, you're wondering what you're going to see him wear next, and the loudness of those blazers makes you, you know, you could even take him a little less seriously because he's wearing those crazy jackets. But if you forget about the jackets for a minute and actually listen to what he's trying to accomplish as a journalist, he actually does a solid job.
Solid.
Well, Sager came on the show today and talked about maintaining his unique style during his hospital stint.
Did you have a plaid hospital gown?
Better than that. I actually, Marv Albert sent me a Superman one. Eric Spolster sent me a makeshift one from Hooters. And Steve Koonin had one made. He's head of the Hawks. He had one made out of sequins.
Nice.
So all these sequin things, and so I had to go in the hospital. Nobody got to see me, but I was flashing it.
Pretty cool. He's gotten robes to wear in the hospital. A nice plaid one. I guess we should have sent it to him. But yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's a character. I think it's Don Cherry, the hockey announcer in Canada. He's a household name in Canada, not as big here. But he wears outlandish stuff and gets a lot of attention for it. But he still does a fine job. So like Fritzy said, it's not like he's a joke and he just wears wild clothes. He's a good reporter and has a little flair.
Quick question. You guys have been around him, right, with Dan?
Yes.
He's tall, right? Is he taller than people?
He's actually quite a big guy. I would say, I would guess Sager's probably 6'1", 200 in that neck of the wood.
Oh, I thought, okay. Yeah,
maybe 6'2". He's
bigger
than I am.
He interviews with these 7-footers, and I'm like, he looks like a short man, but that's not who he is.
Well, when he almost got in a fight with Dan at the Clevelander back in the day, you know, Sager was a thick dude at the time before he got ill. And I'll tell you, Dan was thinner than him, smaller than him.
Wow.
It would have been a sneaky good battle.
A host of fancy hospital robes. Fritzy, have Dan or the Danettes ever purchased you something nice to make your hospital stay that much better?
Nothing in the robe family, but they've sent me all kinds of gifts and goodies while I was recuperating, whether it be in the hospital or when I came out. There was a lot of thoughtful things, whether it was candy or Dr. Brown's black cherry soda or Mountain Dew. Or
now, what are those? Are those gifts good for someone who just had an internal surgery?
Probably not. But I winked at it because one, it was I like to say the word thoughtful, and they always tease me about that. But it was very thoughtful to send me something, especially something I really like. And two, after losing a considerable amount of weight from at least the kind of problems I've had, where you're not allowed to eat or drink anything for weeks on end in the hospital, to have some of your favorite foods and beverages waiting for you when you got home once you got the okay from the doctor to have some of that stuff was it meant a lot to me, and we all kept in touch, and we were still working on the show together during that time. But I looked forward to those Mountain Dews and those Dr. Brown black cherry sodas.
They make you feel better that much faster. Well, DP got Sager to talk about interviewing his constant sparring partner, Greg Popovich.
I never got to the point where I thought, well, let's just, have some fun with it. Let's, he doesn't want to give me the right answers. Let me try to be funny and stuff. No, I still try to do it the, way it's supposed to be done. I try to listen to what our announcers say, and I try to ask intelligent questions that the guy at home would ask. And if, he wants to take it a different direction, that's up to him. But I don't want to get caught into a skit with the two of us who are trying to be funny, and no. It's better when I'm the straight guy and he does whatever he wants to do. Same thing with Phil Jackson. When you see Phil Jackson, you could ask him about defense, you could ask him about whatever you want to, and he can give you an answer about Saturn or whatever he has planned. It has nothing to do with the question you ask.
Yeah, it's funny. You could have asked what else he's known for, or is it the halftime interviews with Pop?
Yeah.
Because that's sort of taken on a life of its own. And you don't realize, so at least I don't sometimes, the pressure that someone in his position is under, where he's only got maybe 2 questions, 3 at the most, and he's supposed to do something with it because pretty much everyone watching is going to be like, unless you get something out of it, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
What am I doing this for? But sideline reporters catch a lot of
grief. And someone saying there's a producer in your ear that may be telling you to ask a certain question that may or may not go in line with what you're, planning on saying, or it wouldn't be the right thing to ask after what the, the coach or player just said to you. So you're juggling that too.
Well, we know he watches every single day. So keep it up, Craig. Keep up the good work. Coming up, we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Stat of the day, 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 stat of the day.
We are back here at the box score. So great of the New Haven County Firefighters Emerald Society to drop by and help you guys celebrate Happy St. Patty's Day, guys. I still go back to grade school where I would show up without a green shirt, lots of pinches. All right, well, childhood trauma aside, everyone's going to be out celebrating today, so they know a lot about drinking, but maybe they don't know so much about the holiday. That's where you guys come in. It's a little row versus row, and steelsies are not for realsies here. First one is for the front row. What does Erin go bra mean? Erin go bra.
Erin go bra means, well, Aaron, it's Ireland.
Yes.
Ireland forever.
You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, and you will see by the graphic there that you are correct as McLovin gets a look at his little
wait,
work.
Brock, real quick, were we correct there? Can you show that again?
Yeah, you were correct, and we will show this to let you know that you are correct.
So wrong.
That's great.
Back row. Get out the calculator. How much is a traditional pot of gold worth today?
Pot of gold.
Not jumping into these stereotypical cliches. Here, how much is a pot of gold?
$473.12.
Yep.
We're going to go $473.12.
Do you think it's a reasonable guess?
I'm sorry.
It sounds pretty.
That is wrong. As you'll see here, that's bad touch. That's wrong. The answer is
that high.
$1.26 million. It's 1,000 gold coins, and they weigh an ounce
inflation,
each.
I wasn't thinking. I was thinking like BC.
Front row for
You
the
were
beer
going
drinkers.
more in St. Patrick's time.
How many
Exactly.
pints of Guinness are consumed around the world on St. Patrick's Day?
2 million.
Great.
A little bit low on that. The actual answer is 13 million. You are wrong. And McLovin gets to go for the kilt again.
Your kilt.
Back row. Name the castle and village where the Blarney Stone is located.
Castle.
If they don't get this, can we fake steal it?
It's the Blarney Stone in the village, Andrew.
Castle and
Blarney Stone in the village.
They're the
East
castle
Village.
and village.
Yeah.
Blarney Stone is.
Yeah, don't overthink this.
Fritz.
I want you to get this right. Don't
Get it,
overthink
Fritz.
it.
I'm going to say
Same Blarney. Castle Blarney.
Blarney Castle in the West Village.
I'm sorry, you are wrong. It's not in the West Village. It's in the village of Blarney. The village of Blarney.
Oh, we went Blarney Castle.
Yeah, they were both Blarney. Front row, St. Patty's Day.
So far, none of these questions, by the way, are related to St. Patrick's
Village of
Day in any
Blarney.
way, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
Front row, St. Patty's Day is the 4th most popular drinking holiday in the United States. What are the top 3?
Christmas, Thanksgiving.
No, wait.
New Year's.
New Year's, Memorial Day, 4th of July.
Oh yeah. It's got to be something involving your family.
Why Memorial Day over Labor Day?
Possibly some
New Year's.
family
I'm gonna
holidays
go
without being intoxicated.
You think Thanksgiving? You think Thanksgiving over?
No, I go picnic
New Year's
style.
is for sure.
New Year's,
don't think Thanksgiving.
So far, everyone
so
you've
much. I don't know if you
mentioned,
drink a
I
lot.
drink heavily.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, 4th of July are
Arbor Day.
definitely drinking days.
Arbor Day.
Yeah, you can't leave
Buddy,
it
go
Arbor
with it.
Day.
We're gonna go Memorial Day, 4th of July, New Year's Eve.
We got
New
steal
Year's-
with Arbor Day.
Tuesday.
I think you got Arbor Day to steal.
I'm sorry, that is wrong. The correct answer is New Year's, Christmas, and 4th of July.
Oh.
Surf and turf.
Splitsies, yeah, surf and turf.
And finally, the back row. Name the 2 lead stars of the 1993 horror movie Leprechaun.
Oh, I got
The
one
character
of those.
names or the actor names?
Actors.
I got one for sure.
Do you know even one of them?
Pauly Shore.
Is
There's
he in
nudity
there?
in this. You should have saw it.
And
I've heard of it.
John Goodman.
Pauly Shore and John Goodman?
Pauly Shore and John Goodman.
Front row, you can steal this one.
I know Jennifer Aniston's one of them. I think.
Sounds like a Tom Green movie.
And then the dude is probably like, who's like a Billy Bush type guy, but an actor.
Not Colin Farrell. He's too young.
I think Jennifer Aniston is one of them.
You know
Bill
what? That's
Paxton. Bill
correct. Let's
Paxton.
roll that graphic. It's correct. There we go.
Warwick Davis. Hey, Warwick.
Like Dionne Warwick.
Warwick Davis. Who wins this one? I didn't. Oh, the front row wins. Congratulations.
I wish I were dead right now.
Stick around. The Danettes are quarreling again, but what they're not quarreling about is the greatness of the Ram Heavy Duty with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower. It's just simply the best. Guts, glory, Ram. We are closing up shop here at the Box Score. You guys spend a lot of time together, maybe too much time together. Fritzy, which Danette gets irritated the quickest when you guys are together as a group?
Which gets irritated the quickest? I'm gonna say Seton, but I don't have a whole lot to base it on other than he just, he gets into arguments and he's very passionate about what he believes in. And if we get into some kind of debate about something,
Is this a compliment?
It's kind of a compliment. He's passionate about what he believes in, and he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit, not physically, but get into it and express his points of view. So I would say Seton, just because he likes to, he doesn't accept what someone says as the truth and likes to challenge you a little bit on your beliefs.
Well, that is a little dysfunction, and Seton is having a little dysfunction with another Danette recently, as McLovin yet again gives Seton the old Twitter blockaroo. See, why do you keep on giving your Twitter away to McLovin, knowing that he's just going to stomp all over it?
Okay, you know what? Listen, dude, I think the caption speaks for itself. He's such a baby. I didn't even really say anything. I haven't making fun of Kevin Cobb a little bit, and he's like, he won't even. Oh my gosh! I blocked him back though, so take that.
Is someone speaking right now? I don't hear anything. I mentally blocked.
Really?
On mute? You have
I
on
don't
mute?
hear. I have him on mute.
So
Is somebody? Todd, did you say something? I heard something rattling around.
That's not nice.
McLovin, are there other people that
You
you
put a
have
wall up
blocked that
on
you would
me,
like
too.
to mention right now? Maybe famous people?
You know, not really. You're the only, not that many famous people follow me, so that's a problem. I would love to block
I'll tell you,
famous
I block
person.
a hell of a lot of random people. I can tell you that. You could even be like, you know what? Actually, Nirvana, not that good of a band. Blocked. Get the hell out of here.
You're actually the
You're
only.
out.
I don't block anyone except for you. You're the only person I block. If
I mute more people nowadays. Some people where I'm like, you know what? You're kind of cool, but you're kind of obnoxious. A little mute action. I just can't deal with it.
Mute action.
Hey, Paulie, what was the worst Danette feud in show history?
There really haven't been many great ones, like all-timers where like a fist fight or an argument that got out of hand. There never really has been. There's been there's been tense moments, but not a feud where like it went over days and weeks, because we know how Dan will react to that. And I think we all kind of, if we do have a problem with each other, we either squash it really quick or put it aside for a while or whatever, because, you know, if we have like a long-term situation, Dan would not take that very well, and I'm being nice.
All right, well, let's end it on that and go to the nicest guy in the room, Todd Fritz, who's on tomorrow.
UCLA basketball coach Steve Alford will join us as he gets ready to take on Larry Brown's SMU Mustangs, and we'll try to convince all of us why UCLA deserves to be in the tournament at all. Ooh. And NFL Network host of the Rich Eisen Show, which follows the Dan Patrick Show on Audience on DirecTV, will join us as well.
Steve Alford and Rich Eisen.
Steve Alford and Rich Eisen. To answer your question, Steve Alford and Rich Eisen will be among the Tuesday guests on the Dan Patrick Show.
Thank you. Wow, Fritzy has started his St. Patty's Day drinking already. We're back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on Audience, channel 239. Podcast is available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Aaron Gobra.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!